And I guess in terms of Grammys, especially like in hip hop, there's been a lot of conversation over recent years about in our culture and saying that we no longer, need the Grammys or, shouldn't have allow that importance to be over, people's projects, albums and whatnot. But, for spoken word, how would you guys like view this and how important it is for the community as a whole and why the Grammys are still so important for, getting recognition and acknowledgement and stuff like this?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll just say that I think it's super important because it just, again, we live in a place where we're trying to show, and not even show, but just be acknowledged as something that's valuable, right? This is a viable art form. You can make a living off this art form. Like I make a living off this art form. There are other poets who make a living from spoken word. And again, spoken word is a tree that branches off. So I'm a speaker as well. And so I make my living as a speaker who blends spoken word poetry into my keynotes, right? Into my workshops that I do in corporate America. So spoken word is super viable. It's here. And it's, everybody wants to be recognized. I don't care who you are and what you do. You want to be recognized in your field. And so whether that's through the Recording Academy, whether that's a BET award, like you want to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Wherever you can get that recognition from, like that's a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why people say what they say about certain things. But for me, I'm grateful that we are being seen. Because once people see us, they cannot not acknowledge what we bring to the table as poets. So I'm excited about it. I'm grateful that we're being recognized, that we're being seen, and that more light is being shown on the spoken word community. So it's a win for us.
Yeah, and I say as a person behind the scenes, like as a voting member of the Recording Academy, when there was like a bunch of the controversy in multiple instances where people are just like, man, like the Grammys isn't really for the people. It's like politics and all this stuff behind the scenes. The Recording Academy has worked really hard to increase the transparency as well as make sure that the Grammys represent the culture. The Grammys represent us as listeners and consumers. And when you think about it on the scale of what the Grammys is in representing the world of music, it's a very like tall order, but I will say like confidently that they are taking steps in the right direction to correct that. And it's something that like makes me proud to be a Recording Academy member as well as like a person signing up for it. And I think that it's definitely moving in the right direction, especially for independent artists as well. Which is beautiful because before it's like, if you're not like a Drake or, a Bon Iver, like you're just not going to get that love or that shine. But now it's like, okay, well, if you're making moves and like you got massive wave behind you, like, you got it. And so, just the beautiful representation and the willingness to change. As you can see with the splitting of the category, but then also just like, as they continue to push new initiatives and new movements, you can tell that they're like actively righting wrong. So,
yeah. I mean, like I said, I think I'm with you guys. I think representation matters and being seen matters, especially for like the next generation, for the next generation of spoken word artists that are coming up and may not be so knowledgeable about it because obviously you don't have like deaf poetry, we don't have it on TV like that, but seeing it acknowledged in like a big venue like the Grammys, I think can have a big impact on like younger kids and people coming up like, oh, this is a route that I can go.